still doing these three things at 80? You're winning at life. Here's why. George Whitaker was 83 when he passed his last driver's license renewal test. Eyesight, reflexes, and all. The clerk at the DMV joked, "Sir, you drive better than half the 20-somethings I see." George just tipped his cap and chuckled. He didn't think he was special. He just figured that as long as you're breathing, you ought to keep moving. That mindset shaped the life he led, and it's one that's shared by the rare few who hit 80 and keep thriving. While most of the world starts slowing down, there are some who keep living in full color. If you're still doing these three things at 80, moving your body, learning new things, and nurturing relationships, you're not just alive. You're truly winning at life. Let's start with movement. Not Olympic sprints or Ironman races, though some 80-year-olds out there might surprise you. No, we're talking about simple, consistent movement. Walking, stretching, gardening, dancing to the oldies in your kitchen while your tea steeps. Movement is the unsung hero of longevity. George walked 2 miles a day, rain or shine, ever since he retired. He swore by it. Get up, go out, breathe air, feel the sun, he'd say. It wasn't about losing weight or counting steps. It was about momentum, the belief that as long as he was moving, life was moving with him. Studies back him up. Movement at an older age does more than just keep the joints oiled. It keeps the mind sharp, the heart strong, and the spirit light. A body in motion remains connected to the world. When you stop moving, life begins to recede, like the tide pulling away from the shore. Those who keep moving past 80, who keep walking, dancing, stretching, gardening, they're defying the quiet gravity that tries to pull us inward and downward. They're saying, no, I'm still here. I still choose life. Second, let's talk about learning. If you're still curious at 80, still reaching for knowledge like a child with a hand raised in class, you're ahead of most. Learning keeps the mind alive, not just functional. Take Miss Dolores Gibbons. At 81, she enrolled in an online course on medieval art. Her grandchildren were shocked. "Grandma, why?" they asked. She shrugged, "Because I don't know anything about it." She didn't care if the information was useful. She wasn't collecting knowledge for a job or to pass a test. She was feeding something deeper, the fire of wonder. And that fire, it doesn't burn out with age. It only dims if we stop stoking it. Lifelong learning, especially in old age, is like turning on lights in new rooms of a house you thought you knew entirely. It brings surprise, joy, and depth. Neurologically, it matters too. Learning new things, whether it's a language, a musical instrument, or how to use a smartphone app, literally rewires the brain, building new connections and delaying cognitive decline. But more than the science, there's the simple magic of it. When you learn, you grow. And growth, at any age, is proof of life. The third thing, relationships. If you're 80 and still maintaining meaningful human connections, you're among the richest people in the world. Loneliness is one of the most devastating afflictions in later life, more damaging than smoking, obesity, or even chronic disease. And yet, too many drift into isolation, often unintentionally. Friends pass away, family moves far, routines change. But those who continue to invest in relationships, to call, write, visit, laugh, reminisce, keep something sacred alive inside themselves. Mildred and Sam Stein had been married for 60 years. Every Saturday morning, they still had breakfast at the same diner, ordered the same pancakes, and argued over the crossword puzzle. "Keeps us young," Sam said. "Keeps us married," Mildred added. Their ritual was simple, but behind it was something powerful: continuity, presence, and shared memory. But it doesn't have to be a partner. At 80, a best friend, a neighbor, a book club, a bridge group, these bonds are anchors to joy. They remind you who you are. They let you laugh about old mistakes and dream about tomorrow's soup recipe. They are proof that even as the body ages, the heart still wants to dance. In a world obsessed with youth and newness, there's a quiet rebellion in aging well. It's not about Botox or pretending you're 30. It's about embracing the richness of years while refusing to fade into the background. Still moving? Still learning? Still loving? Then you're not just getting older, you're mastering the art of living. Take the story of Eileen Cho. At 85, she wakes up every morning, stretches for 20 minutes, and waters the tomato plants on her balcony. Once a week, she tutors elementary kids in math online. Her Friday nights? Reserved for Zoom calls with her 3 best friends from college. They drink wine, gossip, and laugh until someone snores. She's not famous. not viral, but she is unmistakably winning. Because the truth is, vitality isn't about what year's on your birth certificate, it's about how you live with the years you've been given. And the three habits that stand out, movement, curiosity, connection, aren't revolutionary. They're deceptively simple. That's what makes them so powerful. So if you're reading this and you're 80 or getting close or dreaming of reaching that age someday, ask yourself, am I still moving? Still curious? Still reaching out to others? If so, don't let anyone tell you you're slowing down. You're not. You're just playing life at a different tempo and still dancing. And if you're not yet 80, the best time to build these habits is now. Walk a little more. Pick up a new book. Call a friend. Plant a seed, literally or metaphorically. These are the muscles of a full life, and they don't grow overnight. But they do grow year after year. And if you're lucky, they'll still be with you when the candle's on your cake number 80 and beyond. Because the measure of a good life isn't how long you live, it's how fully you live the years you're given. And if at 80, you're still saying yes to the world, one step, one thought, one laugh at a time, you're not just surviving, you're winning.